Hello everyone and welcome to installment 9 of Yorkcraft. Now we have been getting on with quite a lot around the city in 3 different places, so there's quite a lot to talk about, but before we get into that, one person did actually comment on the last video and said they hope they don't see any dinosaurs in York. I did feel kind of bad, so here's some dinos. So, jumping straight into it then, we're at Monk Bar at the northeastern end of the city. This is the largest one of the gates, and it was built in the 14th century over the course of about 25 years. It used to have a barbican, we can see laid out, I haven't quite built yet. That was destroyed partially in 1815 and completely in 1825. That was when they added the civilian archways either side of the bar as well. It's 4 stories tall. It is a bit of a mini fortress. I've only built 2 stories so far. Each floor was able to be defended by itself, and it has had many uses over the years. It has actually been a gate here since 1280, with some uses for it being rented rooms, a prison in 1563. We're currently on the 2nd floor, and on the 1st and 2nd floor it does have quite nice vaulted ceilings. Just make sure we close the door, don't want a draft now. You can see the vaulted ceiling just here and the portcullis. I'll just look down juts through the bottom as well. Now the top 3 floors are 14th century and the top floor, the bottom 3 are 14th century and the top one was added in the 15th. This is the portcullis, which does actually still work nowadays. It's got a couple of holes where the guards would have pointed their bows through. This is the guard house, which would have also been destroyed in 1825. This one has been quite difficult to figure out because it's in a 2-block diagonal radius, which is a bit difficult. And as we pull back, we can see on Gudrum Gate we've got Oglethorpe, the street directly ahead of us, and the layouts for Old Walk, the street now just to our left. As we continue back down Gudrum Gate, we can eventually see the Minster just about to come into view up and on the left-hand side, which is going to give us a good idea of the scale and the size of the houses which are going to be in between. There it is, just coming into view. That's about it for that one. So, number 2, we are back over by the Chapt House of the Minster at the Treasurer's House. I've done a lot of work since we last saw this, and as I said in the last one, this is a 1617 house. There would have actually been some conventional clay brick on this, but I'll go into that slightly later. And as we come through the front door here, this would be the Great Hall. And my one bit of furnishing there. We can see if we go over to the fireplace as well, I've made it a feature that every single fireplace does actually come out of a hole in the ceiling. Thought that was a nice little touch. And if we go over to the left hand side here, this then leads us into the staircase hall, which does take us up to some of the more grander bedrooms. But if we stay on the ground floor for now, come through here, this is the courtroom. In real life there's a quite nice model ship on a table, although I'm not sure how well I can do that on the craft. This next room is the drawing room, or the blue drawing room, very creatively named, which nicely leads us in a circle back to the staircase hall. And if we were to circle round here and come up the staircase, this leads us to those bedrooms I was mentioning. The first one is known as the Queen's bedroom. Any crafters can probably recognise the texture I've used for the wallpaper in here. The slightly more modest bedroom is Princess Victoria's, although it does still have a fireplace and grand windows. This one is known as the tapestry room, although I haven't had a chance to build a tapestry in it yet. And if you didn't believe me, another fireplace, hole in the ceiling. Oh yeah! So that's about it for this wing. We can leave here, get stuck on the steps, and come back into the Great Hall to explore the other side of the house, which is completely not started. Although I do have this one little sitting room. I know places here, found some photos of it. And if we were to go back into the Great Hall, I have done a little bit as we go up the staircase. We have another bedroom on this side called the King's bedroom, which I actually think is one of the more boring ones, although it does have the nice feature of, if you look out of the window you can see the Queen's bedroom exactly opposite. Probably did that on purpose. And I'm just looking through the windows there. If we were to continue up, you've got access to the higher parts of the house. Now, I said I built this, it was mainly in brick, but I've decided to build it in the cream coloured York stone to kind of keep it with the feel. so you've kind of got a modern feel on the inside and a 1500s on the out. This last room here is the servants' quarters, with all of the white crosses being the holes where the chimneys come out. So finally, to finish on this one, as we see the section of the house I haven't started, we can head back down this street called Oglethorpe and see Monkbar come into view on the left. And just before we get into the last section of the video, I want to take this middle point to thank every single person that is watching this video, has watched this video, has subscribed, anyone commenting, giving me support. I'm almost up to 30 subscribers now. I mean, I know in YouTube terms it's not a lot, but it honestly does mean the world to me. It's the reason I make these videos, and if people keep watching them, then I'll keep putting them out and hopefully make the quality a bit better. And as with every Minster video I do, no one would be complete without a flyby through the Minster. So I was just in the east roof supports there, and we're flying through the tower and into the nave. Come out the doors and make sure we don't hit our head. Now, as we are out on this side, we can see I haven't actually done much since the last video. I've been focusing on the areas that I showed you on the opposite end. But we can see coming through the ruins of the original booth and bar that I built. The new one's just coming into view at correct angle and distance, and quite a few walls on the right hand side. This entire northern corner, the foundations for the walls are actually originally Roman, that were put there for their fortress, although the substance of the walls are medieval. Although most of what we do see today is actually Victorian recreation. In fact, the entire section between Booth and Monkbar is, including the arches on the inside, the walkway, and the large northern tower, also known as Robin Hood Tower, that connects the two wall sections between Bootham and Monkbar. But I thought, seeing as they didn't destroy any of it and they fully recreated it with intent to look at for beauty purposes, I should just keep it and put it into my, essentially the same idea, recreation of what it would have looked like back then. And thankfully on Google Maps and Google Images there's full 360-degree photos where you can walk along this section of the wall, which is why it's built in such detail. And it's only taken me 5 days to do this bit, as well as the start of Monkbar and the Treasurer's House. Thankfully there's a lot of blueprint details of the 44 battlements that are around the city walls across the entire 2.5 miles, which is good. I've also found some old photographs from the early 1900s which are looking quite promising for references. And with that, that is pretty much the end of the video. So as always, if you did enjoy, give it a thumbs up, let me know to keep making them. If you really did enjoy it and you're feeling super nice, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. Oh dear, my Xbox really doesn't like the amount of blocks here, does it? If you do hit the bell, make sure you hit all, as you won't be able to see the videos come up if you don't do that. So with that, it's a final bye bye from me. Stay safe and stay crafty. Now, all dinosaur jokes aside, if any young crafters do want to take something constructive from this video, I'd say always correct your mistakes the second you make them, and above anything else, for the love of God, look after animals.